Well, hello, gorgeous souls. So it's Suze Crystal Wolf, Suzanne from Crowfire Talk channel. Um, so this is again, I think I was late last week with Chatterwitch Wednesday. So this is Chatterwitch Wednesday on a Thursday, the 28th of July, my birthday. Yippee, my solar return. So 56 today. I quite like that number. It's quite a nice number. It adds to 11. So what are we discussing today? Well, I've been very busy. So I still had some interesting stuff going on. And I've also been downloading a lot from Spirit, and I've been having a very fertile time with my artistic stuff and stuff. So I made a spray the other week, and it got me thinking, because I was last year in my mastery course, or my runic mastery course with Megan Rose. I was going to do essence sprays for each of the runes, but I didn't get round to it because I did other things. And I did think about doing like rune elixirs, but I didn't get round to that either. So I made this spray the other day, and I haven't made a spray for quite a long time. And I forget how much I love them, how much I love making them, how much I love using them. You know, when you sort of got lots of things in your toolbox and you sort of, I don't know, maybe you put stuff on top and you can't see what you've got in there, or you know, we have like seasons, like we've discussed, we have seasons of time when certain things are at the forefront and certain things you don't do so much. Or I find that in my crafting, I might want to do weaving for a couple of months and not really anything else. I might want to do drawing. So yeah, so my essences and stuff were, I don't know, maybe they're at the bottom of my toolbox. And I made this spray, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I made two bottles up, and the bigger bottle I put some lavender in. I didn't with the other one, and I'm really loving the lavender. It's really nice. I think with lavender, I mean, you either love it, it's a bit Marmite, you love it, or you hate it. But I tend to sort of use the lavender for like sleepy sort of, if you want to do it before you go to bed and things like that. And then I forget that the property of lavender, where it's so relaxing, is actually really good if it's combined with other things for like meditation and stuff, because you want to relax and whatever. So I tend to forget that, and I've pigeonholed it into this, it's for sleep, and it's over there, and I forget that it's just good for like really calming, lovely, you know other other things that are like I say, meditation and contemplation. And even maybe if you're reading a book, you just want to spray a bit in the room, or to calm the room, make the energies in the room nice and calm and lovely. So it's really good for all sorts of things. I think it's interesting, we often pigeonhole things. So I noticed that with the runes, like, where they've got their direct like what am I trying to say? So like Feyus for like wealth, they're keywords. God, can't be that difficult, can it? So they're like their keyword things, and they can get pigeonholed with that, because if you look at Feyu, it's got millions of other things you can use it for in spell work and stuff. It can be used for money, and it can be, you can put it on your wallet, you can do a little card and keep it in your wallet, you can do a little stone and keep it in your purse, you can you know, write it on, well, not that anyone really uses checkbooks anymore, but you could have done. So all sorts of things like that. A spell candle for money, and things, but Feyu's like wealth on every level, so it's great for self-worth and self-esteem and things like that. So if you're working on a project and you know you're maybe nervous, or you're fear, or especially if you're working with others, and you might feel that they maybe know more than you, or you know, and you're feeling a bit inferior or something, then you can use Feyu for that. So there's just so many levels to things. And yeah, pigeonholing is so limiting, but I think we all do it. We think of certain things, and you know, I'm like that with fruit. I would like, fruit is fruit, and it shouldn't be put in things for like main course dinners. So like, you know, it's for afters, and it's for puddings, and don't be putting it in my, you know, in my casserole or and my husband the other day bought a coconut and mango chicken, and I was like, really? And he said, well, you haven't tried it. And I was going, yeah, but it's fruit with a dinner. That's wrong. It doesn't, you know. And it was really lovely. So but yeah, it's strange. We have these quite, you know, we're fixed and focused on something, and that limits us to so much, you know. I think it, in the spiritual world, it's such like that. For like, you know, amethyst crystal is for that. I learnt really on with the crystals that they have so many layers, and not to pigeonhole them. Again, amethyst is seen as like a great one to put under your pillow to help you sleep, remember your dreams, things like that. But you know, amethyst, yeah, is great for meditation. Um, but beyond that, there's so much more amethyst is great for. You know, it's a great cleanser. You know, I mean, like a lot of people will use like an amethyst bed to cleanse their other crystals. Or I've got a amethyst bowl. It's not a bowl, it's a geode, but it's in the shape of a bowl, and I put all my jewelry in there. So whatever I've been wearing, as soon as I've taken it off, goes straight into the amethyst bowl, and then I put it back on, and so I know it's all like cleansed, or put crystals in there and stuff. So but there's a million other things, and you should be more open to not pigeonhole yourself or things, to relax with stuff. So that I think, I do wonder whether it's because we've read somewhere. So Judy Hall in her Crystal Bible says this is for this and that, and you go like, oh well, you know, Judy Hall wrote that. That's it. Or you know, Nicholas Pearson, another great crystal writer, or Melody, which is my favourite. Um, so you know, and I tell you who else I love, if you don't know him, Adam Barrelay. I think he's Australian, and I love him. He does sort of say for certain things, but I think I just like the way he is. I just like it. I think that's the other thing, isn't it? If we're not attuned to a certain person, then we don't always like what they're saying. So I mean, there's a few people that I really love. I love Nicholas Pearson. I love Brian Parsons' books are fabulous, actually. That he's slightly different. He's got very different style. He's very interesting. And that I can't think off the top of my head now. I'm looking at my crystal books here, but that's I think that's why I like reading a lot of different books on a subject from different people, and I might not always go with what they're saying, but it's nice to get their input, and then it's in the back of your mind, and you think, oh yeah, you might be thinking something, and then it'll take you back to what you've read, and you're like, because really we need to have a state of utter openness. It doesn't mean like read something and believe everything that's written, but if you have this openness and you connect in with yourself, then you're coming from a better place, because if it resonates, and it might not resonate with you, say at this time, so you might read something and you might go, oh no, I really can't go with that, and you're really quite staunch, and it's like, no, it doesn't feel right, it's not correct for me, and that is fine. But then further down the line, where maybe your knowledge has expanded, maybe I'm lost for bloody words again today. I didn't have any sleep. I know I'm digressing, and hopefully I'll come back to the subject. But someone was having a party or something, not in honor of my birthday either, outside somewhere, and the later it was getting, the louder they were getting, and I'm sure it didn't start till about 1 o'clock this morning, but I didn't check my phone to see what the time was, but it seemed a completely ridiculous time, unless they'd been out and they'd come back and then they carried on partying, and that sort of makes sense. So anyway, that's my digression. So that's why my words are lost, and I'm struggling, because if I'm tired, that happens much more readily. I can just lose words anyway, but talking is just hard and difficult. Words, they're just difficult. So we're talking about books and stuff, and if you're open, then you're paving the way for information to drip feed in, and then it connects with your awareness and maybe your growth, where maybe at one point you wasn't ready to take that information in, or maybe you didn't have a good enough foundation there to take that in. I've noticed that as well. It's like where you get more with your understanding and stuff, you're building stronger foundations, and then you can take something a bit more abstract, a bit more out there, that maybe you weren't equipped to take in before that. And that's all part of growth. That's all very, very natural. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about and things like that. It just means that you haven't got there yet, basically, isn't it? You haven't got there yet on something. And the more you look into certain things that you're interested in, so if it's crystals, the more you look into them, the more you work with them, the more you get your own connection, your own friendship with them, your own communication with them, your own relationship with them, then that is where that then expands. So then you're coming out of knowledge, and you're more walking towards wisdom, because just my interpretation of knowledge and wisdom and stuff. But knowledge is where we're taking stuff in. So, we're Googling something, we're reading something, we're speaking to a teacher, and they're giving us information, and we take that knowledge in. Knowledge is great, fantastic, we need it. That is where you start to build the foundations. But then you need to start working with the crystal, or the runes, or the cards, or the trees, or color, or whatever it is, chakras. And then it starts to go further, and so you've drunk in all that knowledge, and that is sitting within you, and then it alchemizes with something, your essence, your soul, your spirit. It alchemizes, it's true alchemy, and then that's when it turns into wisdom. And then you can't really explain it, because it's gone beyond that level. It's gone into the area of wisdom, and wisdom can't really be explained. It's not an explainable state, it just is. So say you want to work with the Ogham, the tree oracle, and you might buy some books and you get your set of Ogham. Spirits of Old, fantastic in the UK, because they go out, they collect them from sacred areas, and then my sets from them. Absolutely, I recommend Spirits of Old. And also Simon Lilly, he's got some sets and that on, and he's a crystal man. Actually, Simon and Sue Lilly, fabulous crystal people, and they do plenty of other things. So yeah, so you've read lots and you're working with your Ogham, and then you go out and then you connect with the trees. Or, I mean, going out in nature, connecting physically with the tree is absolutely fantastic, but you don't always have the certain trees around you. So you might then have to go into meditation and do a journey, or do a shamanic journey to visit a tree. Maybe you've got no, let me think of a tree. I can't think of a tree that wouldn't be around. No. But anyway, say there's a tree that you want to connect with. Let's say it that way instead. So not even in the Ogham. So let's say what tree shall we say? A Japanese acacia. We'll say that. So you want to connect with that tree. I mean, you could probably go to a garden centre and connect in. But say all you would need is a picture of the tree from the internet, Google it, and then you can work with that energy, and then you can go in and journey to the tree and speak to the essence and the spirit of the tree, and then you can start even working. Say a tree calls to you, because you started working with trees, but a specific tree calls to you that isn't in the Ogham, that is, I mean, you can connect with any plant, any tree, any crystal. I mean, some crystals are dangerous to hold and things like that, but you might want to work with it. You can literally call in the essence of anything. Animals. I don't physically work with lion when I'm working with lion, because it's probably not a good idea. And I don't have a thingy to align. But that's how I worked with my crows when I really started working with the crow energy. I would just, call in crow energy. I must admit, I would then have crows cacaoing in the background and stuff. So I always knew that it was connected, that I was truly connecting. But that's another great thing, is the signs from nature coming to you. They come. It's like seeing the runes in the trees, and seeing you're walking along and suddenly on the ground you see a rune, and you're like, oh my goodness. It's like, that's a rune there. It's quite amazing. Or even in your dinner, you can suddenly see a rune or something. When you start working with the runes, they just start to appear everywhere. But so you can always connect in. But then when you're doing that sort of work, when you're journeying, or whether it's out in nature, you're connecting with an oak tree out in nature, or whether you're indoors and you're connecting with an oak tree in a shamanic journey or a meditation or something, then you then downloading and getting information directly from that spirit. There's two ways as well, because if you work with as I call it, the generic. So like, I think I've discussed this before about crystals. So you've got the generic spirit of amethyst that covers all amethyst on the planet, every piece of amethyst. But if you're working with a specific piece of amethyst, that is your piece that you've chosen to work with or meditate with, you will get different information that is based on that piece of amethyst personality. So there is a difference, but generically, if you just call in the spirit of amethyst, you are connecting with every single piece of amethyst on the planet. You're connecting with the guardian, the diva, whatever name you want to put on it. And the same's with, like a tree. If I go out and I connect with an oak tree in Salvernac Forest, a specific tree, I will get a difference from that tree than I will from the generic energy of oak tree. So you can get more tailored information from a specific tree because you've got that relationship with it. So there is a difference. But as you start alchemizing that knowledge and then that connection with a tree, with a crystal, whatever it is, animal, then that starts to turn into wisdom, because you have a wisdom that grows from the knowledge. You can't have wisdom without the knowledge, because knowledge gives the foundation, and then there's a space in between knowledge and wisdom. That is the alchemy that happens. I don't know if there's a word there. I mean, there probably is. Someone's probably discussed this before, and there probably is a word there, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, there's a space, this liminal space between knowledge and wisdom. So, don't know why I started on this. Anyone know? I can't remember. So, why was I discussing it? I tell you what, sometimes when I wake up with a fibro fog, I just think, am I really honestly losing the plot? Oh dear. I suppose it's a bit like the same thing in art. It's like, you have knowledge of making momigami. I spoke about that last week. So you have the knowledge of that because you've Googled it, you've watched YouTube video, but then you start playing yourself, and then that's when you might come up with something different, or you might use a different sort of paper that you haven't seen anyone else use, and then that the knowledge builds on that, and then you get a wisdom of like working with stuff. And artists do that all the time because they play, and they experiment. So it is, maybe that is the middle word, experimentation. So you have the knowledge, then you experiment, then you get the wisdom. And it has all three in there. So it has your essence of experimentation and your part on it and what you've added to it, and then it, it has the knowledge from the baseline of the knowledge. So anyway, it is my birthday. I've done 23 minutes. I haven't put up Runic Thursday yet. I've got a reading this afternoon at 3:00 my time. A lady in America wanted a reading, so I've got that to do. So I think I'm going to go and have my lunch. So love and blessings to everyone. And I've had a few people say to me that I've got to say, although I said I won't say like my videos, but apparently it builds your channel, which I sort of knew, pardon me. But I just didn't like the idea of keep saying, oh, like my video, but to get the videos out there more and stuff like that. So yeah, like, subscribe. I promised I wouldn't do that, and I'm going back on my pledge, my word. But I see the understanding of that, you know, more people watch my videos, and I don't have a lot of people watch my videos. I only have, like, I don't know, about 7 or 8, 9 views. Some are more. But that's fine, because if one person watches it and gets some information from it, or they like it. But I'll say again, I would really love if anyone wants me to discuss anything, or, you know, if they put it in the comments, because that's really cool, that, you know, oh, well, could you talk about this, could you talk about that? At the minute, I'm still at the beginning of this channel, so it's you know, I don't really know what I'm doing. I do want to expand on it. I do want to experiment. I would like to do some arty ones, but I might do a different channel for that. I might do Art Witch Creates or something. Yeah, and do some creative. But I don't. But to be absolutely honest and transparent, I have no clue how to get the video to look down, and then how I know if it's in view and stuff. So I would need to investigate and get the knowledge, and then I could experiment, and then I might get the wisdom, and then I might know what I'm doing. Yay. So anyway, love and blessings. Yeah. New moon blessings. It's quite a fabulous birthday because it's a nice new moon. So yeah, it should be quite lovely energy. So I might do, well, I really should do something later, but I need to set up my new altar for my healing of Thurisaz. We're going into the Thurisaz rune. So coming out of Uruz, going into Thurisaz, and I will start my Thurisaz healing. So I need to set up my altar. So I might clear that all today, give it a good smudge, and then set it up for Thurisaz under the new moon tonight. I think I might do that. I know it still have some Uruz energy, but I might do the shift. So that might be my little ritual later. I might do that. And I've also got to set up the rest of my altar to do my altar sprays and elixirs. So the first elixir and spray I'm going to make is Thurisaz, so that should be interesting. Now that's a pigeonhole rune. That just, you know, people go Thurisaz and they go, oh no, scary. And yeah, it has a fabulous kick-ass side to it. It's a rune of defense, and, you know, rune of the thorns stuff, but, you know, it's also a lovely rune, and it makes me think of thunder and lightning, and that, again, that clearing energy, you know, that static, and if that lightning hits the ground, it charges everything up. So, you know, it's a good rune to use for charging something, I think. You know, charging up a spell, giving it some real kick-ass power. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go because I need my lunch. So love and blessings, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.